Hi guys, I wanted to say before I start with this video, thank you all for 1.16k subscribers. How do I even have that? What? And all because I'm just lamely recording all my stuff that's happening on my Tomodachi Life Island. This is about as low effort as it gets, but you all enjoy it anyways, and I don't even know if I should be happy or sad that I can't do more. This video is going to be a 500 subscriber special. My other one about the show is going to be my 1,000 sub special. So I just wanted to get all that out of the way before I start this video. Again, thank you so much for 1.16k subscribers. It sounds so weird to say that. Oh. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video and the AU that I have made. Let's just get right into this. Since a young age, Delilah has always been academically intelligent. She has been wonderful in school. She respected her teachers. She did all of her studying. She got good grades. And she was very passionate in one specific subject. Science. She loved science, and she loved her science teacher. Her science teacher was like a bonus mom to her. But sadly, her science teacher died in a car crash. And it made Delilah really think about death and how serious and disappointing it can be to people. And that's what first started to make her think, how can I stop that from happening? What if I could stop people from dying altogether? And so she went to try and just study to find a way to cure dying, technically. Her parents knew of this. They just thought she was being very ambitious, and they themselves, as scientists and researchers, didn't really mind the idea of their daughter finding out how to bring people back to life. So they said, just be careful. And of course, since Delilah was extremely smart and showed promising grades from a young age, they started saving up for her college. And she did get into college and got a master's in biology and science. When she was in college, she met a guy, we'll call him Fred, just to make it easier. And she told Fred about how she wanted to bring people back from the dead when he was like, hey, why are you in this class? Is it because you just wanted to make your parents proud or something? And she's like, I want to bring people back from the dead. And he's like, oh, well, wish you luck on that. And she's like, thank you. And as you can clearly tell, Delilah isn't really that good with conversation, but she tries. she tries. Fred started talking about Delilah, actually, at parties, saying, hey, what if I told you that I knew a girl that wanted to bring people back to life? Like, she's actually trying to look for a cool cure, to dying. Isn't that cool? And some people laughed, some people were intrigued, and some people, aka a history major and a social studies major, both decided to go up to Delilah and be like, hey, Delilah, we think we could help you. And Delilah is like, how so? And they're like, well, recently there's been some rumors and small suggestions that something from Greek mythology called Iker might be able to help you with your goals. And of course, at first she said, are you kidding me? Greek mythology? Like, why in the world would you even suggest that? So she at first shunned the idea, but the more she had time to think on it, the more tempted she was to try, at least. Because she had no other leads, really. And so she packed up and moved to Greece. How, you say? Because she didn't really have a job? Her parents are so gracious to her in this AU, I'm going to be honest. Don't worry, though. She's soon going to be able to sustain herself with her own job. We all know where she gets a job at, so I think that's clear where she gets a job at. Anyways, by the time she's finally done with researching in Greece and just burying her head in books and mythology and anything that she can possibly use to find any credit to this claim, she has found Iker, and she's now 22 years old. I am not saying that this idea is canon. I'm saying that this is the best way I could find for her to find Iker, that she found it herself, with the ambition from early on. Anyways, then Delilah moved back to the USA, which I'm thinking Dandy's World takes place in. I'd be surprised if it didn't. Actually, I'd be surprised if it didn't. Anyways, that's not the point. She moves back, and Fred hears about what she found, and Fred's like, oh, wow, okay, she actually found something, a breakthrough, and now she's just doing experiments in her personal lab, trying to make this work. For instance, she got a wilting flower, and she tried to use Iker to bring it back to full bloom, and she was able to after a few trial and errors. So, stuff like that. Something small, something not consequential. And then she immediately started working on Dandy after she got the info sheet for him, as seen in one of the papers in the game, that Delilah received an info sheet for Dandy from Arthur. So that's how all that started. Now, this is going to be a bit of a turn, but it's how I made this AU. If you don't like Arthur x Delilah, you don't need to stay. I understand. But this is how I built my AU. You have every liberty to tweak it a little and for yourself and have the AU, but like an AU of my AU, where somehow you make it so Arthur and Delilah did not fall in love, but Delilah still became a good person. You can do that if you want to, but I don't want to because, again, I ship Arthur and Delilah. So, yeah, Arthur and Delilah shipping. Let's get into it. The reason why Delilah becomes a better person is because she starts to take Arthur seriously. And she starts to take Arthur's criticisms seriously. And for that, she needs to respect him and a little bit more than she does already. And I'd say, in my AU here, Delilah already has respect for Arthur and already sees him as like a friend, and if at the very least a very good acquaintance, you know. So the way Delilah falls for Arthur is specifically she works with him and she notices things about him over time, and it just happens so gradually that she doesn't even understand that it's a crush until it's like a strong, overwhelming crush that just won't go off of her mind, pretty much. And with Arthur already had the quote-unquote ingredients to fall in love with Delilah. He always respected her. He always thought highly of her. He always thought she was just a very wonderful person to be around, because he was so used to having to put up a persona of friendliness, kindness, and constant smiles and stuff. But Delilah didn't care if Arthur sometimes felt a little aggravated, sometimes wasn't always smiling. She let him be human around her, and he liked that. And so he always saw that as like a very good friendship. Oh, Marinette, she's a very good friend, kind of denial, you know? Anyways, eventually, Delilah decided to confess her feelings to Arthur, which caused Arthur to realize, oh, wait, you have a crush on me? Oh, wait, I have a crush on you, kind of thing. You know, he always had the ingredients, but he needed to have them mixed up to realize that the crush was there. And technically, that's how he fell in love with Delilah. Delilah had to tell him that she liked him. And here's how them dating affected Garden View, too. The Iker experiments never happened, because Delilah started to take Arthur more seriously than she ever did before. She understood what Arthur meant when he advised her against the experiments. She understood that Arthur cared deeply about the Toons and about Garden View, and would never even want to try to risk something that she's hoping is her future husband worked so hard for. She also starts getting kind of tutored on how to understand what people in Garden View need, or Toons in Garden View need. Like, for instance, Arthur starts to explain, hey, Delilah, you see Toodles over there? You see how she's being kind of quiet today? That could be a sign that she's not feeling very happy right now, and you should probably ask her what's going on. And he just kind of starts in the building blocks of, here's how to have empathy, here's how to understand emotions, and basically helping her gain more emotional intelligence. Because before then, she had pretty much only academic intelligence with her. And maybe some empathy, like very little, and she probably couldn't read anybody's emotions that well. So, yeah, that's the effects of them being together. So overall, at the quote-unquote end of the AU, they get married. Arthur and Delilah get married. Delilah cares a lot more about the Toons and really tries to help them the best she can. She even makes Gordy's parents. She makes it so that the Christmas Toons and the Easter Toons and the Halloween Toons can live all throughout the year instead of depending on, like, only 1 or 2 months a year to be around other Toons. You know? So technically, making it so they can have a better life. And, yeah. Pretty much, this AU is just... love can change a person. And that is all about my good Delilah AU. I hope you had a wonderful time watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or a good night's sleep, wherever you may be. Thank you so much for watching, and again, thank you so much for 1.13k subscribers. Just thank you. Goodbye.